Happy Friday as we give you another edition of Red Sox Now right here on YouTube. I'm your host, Mike Antonellis, one of the radio and TV broadcasters for the Worcester Red Sox. That's what I did on Thursday TV on NESN Plus. We'll get to that because there were some big league guys that we can talk about. The Red Sox avoided that sweep of Toronto at home. That would have been devastating to so many fans. But like I've been saying, this is not the NFL. Baseball is a marathon, and I know we're getting very emotional with each win and loss. You got to kind of stay even keel right now. Once the things, I think when pitchers start getting stretched out more and guys get more at-bats, you might see cleaner games and things will get a little bit better. And the Red Sox are off to Chicago to take on the White Sox. Make sure to give us a like, a follow, a subscribe. We got about 5 or 6 more subscribers yesterday and reeling in the comments. We appreciate that. And you can follow me on all my social media channels at the Radio Mike, including on X. I'm on Blue Sky right now. And then I got some pretty cool things today because in Grafton, Massachusetts, when I woke up this morning, I had to do a double take. I didn't have my contacts in yet. Snow on the ground. We've had snow on the ground today, but hopefully that clears out. Well, we can tell you this. I give the Red Sox a lot of credit. Back-to-back extra inning games. They win 4-3. They had a 2-run 10th inning. And with the infield drawn in, it was a bobble. It's very interesting. In the box score, it says that I'm going to pull it up here. Trevor Story grounds out to second base for the second out, but that did not happen. It was a bobble that allowed the run to score, and the Red Sox won it in a wild 10th inning, and they hold on for a 4-3 win. I tell you what, their bullpen, again, Buehler was great, 6 1/3, 7 strikeouts. Their pen gave up 2 runs, only 1 was earned. 4 strikeouts, only 4 hits. Bernardino got the win. Chapman had another scoreless appearance. And the Red Sox faced another good starter. I told you this about the Blue Jays. I really like what they're doing. And Chris Bassett had a good game, giving up only 1 run on 5 Ks over 5 2/3. So the Red Sox can close the book on a 4-3 win in 10 and also a 4-3 homestand. 2 hits for Duran, Trevor Story, and Rafael Devers had 2 more hits. So you knew that. You've probably figured me out right now how I lead you in. Those are softball little transitions into this. Man, I don't even hear anything about Devers anymore. If it's not him struggling, mainly that's how it goes nowadays. You don't hear anything. I think all of his DH issues are in the past. A 15 of 35 April, including a home run and 8 RBIs. Now, the great thing about doing this show, you can go back and look at other episodes, older episodes of what my opinion was of Rafael Devers. And it was this. He was hurt in spring training. He didn't get enough at-bats. And then all of a sudden, he's getting spring training at-bats during the season, which you could tell he was late. And I did not think the guy fell off a cliff that bad where he could not hit fastballs down the middle. Now, and I talked about this last night on TV with my broadcast partner, Alex Jensen. You can certainly counter my argument and say, but what about Wilyer Abreu? He was sick. He lost 20 pounds. He had 20 at-bats in spring training. That's Wilyer Abreu. You cannot, we do this now in baseball. We try to black and white everything. All of this data works for this. It doesn't. This guy throws 98, so that means it's 98 forever. No, 98 is not the same for every pitcher. Everybody's different. Devers coming off shoulder injuries. He needed more at-bats. Pretty evident that March, and as soon as that's passed, I mean, it's pretty crazy. The fact that he went 0 for 19. And I've heard guys say this, that they need about 35 to 40 at-bats in spring training. That would be 39. I mean, it's pretty amazing. Like right after those 19 at-bats in March, he has hit safely in every game since. Pretty remarkable. All right, check that. He's reached in all of those games. He's hit safely in 8 of 9 and has a multi-hit game, let's see, in 3, 4, 5 of the 9 games this month and 2 straight multi-hit games. So that's what you want to see. And I think Rafael Devers has kind of proven his stock, and I think it's perfect where they have him as the DH. But it's pretty funny how those things are over. All right, catching on, what does that mean? Pretty simple. Now, this is interesting. Ian Brown, who is a terrific writer for RedSox.com. Major League Baseball hires beat writers for the website. That's what Ian does. So he's the official beat writer for RedSox.com. Now, a source told MLB.com that the Red Sox have agreed to a minor league deal with two-time All-Star Yasmani Grandal, a switch hitter, but the club is not confirmed, so they're probably still working things out, or the official physical would be maybe today, or maybe they weren't able to do it when it happened. That's why things get delayed on signings. It's always to do with medical stuff that they have to iron out first and send things to Major League Baseball. So it is interesting, and Ian points this out, and you can read this article at RedSox.com, that he was not signed in the offseason. 72 games last year. I get he's older. He's not a great throwing out runners, which has been a buzz now on social media. But people have to remember now, with the new pickoff rules, pitchers are not holding on runners great. They barely throw over, and runners just getting free releases. So all of the caught stealing statistics, and I've looked at this over the last few years, since they changed the rules, the stolen bases have gone through the roof. So I would caution you on going crazy on catchers' caught stealings, because a lot of it has to do with the rules, and the pitchers just really don't care anymore about throwing over. But when you're starting to build a club with injuries, now you have Connor Wong and Narvaez, which are great, and you have Sable. You can't expect to have another Connor Wong at AAA. This is going to happen. I've already had people saying, see, they shouldn't have traded Kyle Teal because of the Wong injury. I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, there's a chance that if Wong didn't get hurt, Teal might never have been called up. You can't do that. I advise people, please, for your own sanity, you can't do that. You got Garrett Crochet. If from what I heard, the White Sox really wanted Anthony and Meyer. You were able to get out of that without giving up those two for Crochet, and that was a deal that they worked on for a long time. So beggars can't be choosers in this situation. The fact that you got a 13-year MLB veteran off the street, he signed to a minor league deal. It looks like he'll be going to Worcester first. That's not a bad move for the Red Sox, and why not? Red Sox did draft him originally way back in 2007 out of high school, but he attended Miami and then signed with the Reds. So I think in this situation, if you're able to get a veteran catcher like this off the street, you have to do it. And, being a switch hitter, I think, helps, and he's got some pop, and who knows what can happen. I'll tell you what, I had a front row seat to watching Liam Hendriks last night. It was kind of a late move in the day. He's got right elbow inflammation, and he's a character, Australian native, who said after the game he can't wait to get to Fenway and pitch in Fenway for the home team. He said he's done it a lot, but to be able to do it as a Red Sox, he's excited. I'll tell you what, his slider was filthy last night. Absolutely filthy. He was terrific. And the one inning, he struck out 3 and looked really sharp. And the fastball was between 94 and 95 miles an hour. But he had the guys to lefties. He threw that slider down and in, and he had the lefties out in front a lot. So we'll see what happens. I imagine what we found out from our sideline reporter, Natalie Norrie, that he told her that he will pitch Sunday for Worcester, and then we'll see what the plan is after that. We also know the plan for Brian Bayo as we record this on a Friday. He will start for the Woo Sox on Friday night. I'll be there at the game doing the radio side, so if you want to follow me on social media, on X, that's where I put out a lot of my Woo Sox content. We'll give updates on Bayo. Of course, you can watch the game as well for free through the Bally's app. Just go to WooSox.com. So Bayo's on the mound tonight for his third start. Jen McCaffrey of The Athletic said that both Bayo and Giolito will probably need about 5 starts. This is their spring training. So we'll see how that goes. Giolito will not pitch on Sunday. That was originally rumored that he would go Sunday as well, but he pitched Wednesday due to the postponement on Tuesday. So no way you're going to have a big league guy pitch on short rest. So he'll probably pitch maybe on the road. Portland's on the road next week, and so are the Woo Sox, so we'll see what happens. They could always do a simulated game as well at Fenway Park. They can do a lot of things. So the Red Sox are getting healthy, and we were talking about this last night. Adding a guy like Hendricks to that bullpen will only make it stronger, and getting Bayo back, I think, would be huge. What would be huge is if you subscribe, if you like, if you comment on another episode of Red Sox Now. We thank you so much for watching. We hope you have a great weekend. We'll be off for the weekend, and we'll be back Monday. The Red Sox are in Chicago. By the way, a piece of that White Sox trade with Garrett Crochet, Chase Mydroth, who had an unbelievable minor league season in 2024, on Thursday night, he was called up by the White Sox and is expected to make his major league debut against Boston. How about that for theater? All right, thank you for watching another edition of Red Sox Now. I'm Mike Antonellis.